Hey guys, my name is Wids, and today let's talk about the Diablo 4 inventory management. So how many times that you come across a bunch of loot and then all you hear, my bag is too full or something like that. So there currently is no loot filter in the game. So the best thing you can do is if you go to the game option and then just go to the options and then just go to either sound or accessibility, but the sound is like the closest, so we go to sound and then go all the way towards the bottom, and then you're just gonna look for the loot in-game sound. So item drop sound. So what you do here, you can set it up for it plays a sound when it drops the kind of items that you want. Like for instance, I set mine to legendary, so that means for legendary and unique there's gonna be a sound whenever that happens, and I know whether or not I can go and pick up the loot. But when you first start the game, you want to pick up everything because you need those gold and you also need materials. So you have the options to do that, but if you don't want to pick them up, then that's another option. But the main thing that we want to talk about is how you can just make sure that you organize your inventory to make it easier for you to actually access the items that you want. Now, first of all, if you look at my inventory right here, I am full, so I can't do anything. I cannot pick up anything else. So the best thing you can do is to TP to town and then just go sell something. Then that takes away time for where you can be doing Helltide or any event that is kind of timed. Now, one of the main culprit for this fiasco are the gems. Now, the gems in this game, they drop everywhere, so you always have them taking space, and we hear that they're going to try to fix this issue, but we just have to wait. Now, while we are waiting for all those things, so let's talk about some of the things that you can do. So we go to your stash. The first thing that you need to make sure that you do is just increase your stash. You know what I mean? Just make sure you just buy the maximum amount of stash that you can. So at this instance, we can only get 4 stash. So the best thing that you can do, if you already got your 4 stash, all you can do, you can just organize it in a way that whenever you just come to it, you can just go to whatever you need. Now, you can put pretty much everything in your stash. So the way I've been doing it, for instance, for the first tab, I just put my gears like weapons and armors. And then for the second one, I just decided that I can put my gems on there. And then we also have the third tab, and I just go and put all my aspects on there. Now, for the 4th stash, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I have an idea what I'm gonna do because we do not have loadouts to be saved in this game. So I am going to put stuff that I use for certain builds. Like if I want to switch builds, and I can just go in here and then put the gears and the weapons that I was using for said build in there, and that way I can switch on the go, since we don't have a loadout options in this game yet. So hopefully we'll do soon. So the best way to organize your stuff, so like I said, on the first tab, I just put my armor in there. So if you want to do that, so whenever you want to just deposit them, just go and put them based on that. Like, so for instance, if I want to put a piece of weapon or armor, I'm just gonna just go to deposit and then put it there, and then I can just go back, and then if I want to just do the jewelry part, I just go and then deposit, and I just go and then just put all the jewelry that I have on there, and then I go on my merry way. Just do the same thing with the aspect. Now for the aspect, now a lot of people may not know that you can do this. So if I want to put my aspect on there, so first I want to go to the tab that I just organized for my aspect, and then I'm just going to tab over to deposit, and then on your inventory where your items drop, so you know you have equipment, and then you also have consumables, and you have quests, and you have aspects. So this is where your aspects will be. So the ones that you just extract from gear, then they're gonna be here, so that way you can use them whenever you want. But if they start filling up, because you don't have so many space on there, so if they start filling up, all you gotta do, just make sure you just deposit them to your stash. As you can see, it goes to the stash that I want, and then that way I can just come back to whenever I want to. Now, another thing you can do with the aspect, you can sell them, because as you can see, the value for this is 35 gold. So you can just do that. So a lot of people don't know that you can sell your aspect if you want to. You cannot salvage them, but you can sell them. So if you have too many, or if you are at a point you have a lot of better ones than what you have, then you can just go and sell them. So there's no reason to actually keep them. So the best thing is to just go sell them. Normally I keep a couple of them that are the same. That way, you know, if I don't find any anytime soon, then even though the value is low, and then I can still use it, it's better than nothing. Now, one of the best way that you can organize your stash, just like I'm doing right here, as you can see, I just changed the name. And when you first get it, it says chest 1 and chest 2, 3, and 4. But you can just change it by just go to the edit tab. Like for instance, if I want to change this one, so if I go here, as you can see, this one say chest 4. But if I just go press the button, since I'm on Xbox, just press the button corresponding to that, and I can just go and then just change the name. If I want to call this loadout, then I just go and do that. So I'm going to call this L, and then I'm just going to go on my merry way. But you can give a picture to show that what it is, just something, this indication this is exactly what you're trying to do. If there is a picture that resembles what you're trying to do, if it could be trash or whatever, something that you're going to remember, you can just go do it here. So that's what you got to do. So you can just leave the picture of the chest. So I'm just going to put this here for now, and then I'm just going to save it with the corresponding button that says confirm. And then when you go back to it, as you can see, it's got the picture that you selected, and it also got the names, and that's only call it L. So that's the way I've been doing it. So the way you move stuff, like for instance, as you can see right here, I leave this in there just the purpose of the video. This one does not belong in the tab. It is there. So what I can do, as you can see, you have option down there to actually take it, to move it to another tab, or to actually compare it. So if you want to move it to another tab, all you got to do, just press and hold if you are on Xbox, and you can see you got that cross over it, and then you got to move to the tab that you want to put it in, and then you just, as you can see down there on the bottom, it say place, and then you just put it there, and then it's gonna be there. Now that's the long way of doing it. Now the best way, in my opinion, to actually do this is just to go and take it and put it in your stash if you have space. So basically, you're gonna have to make sure that you make space in your inventory for it. So let's go to my inventory, and then I'm just gonna sort this. I got a few empty space on there, so when I go back to the stash, and I can just go, if I want to move something, like for instance, I want to go to the different tab and I want to move something, and there's a lot of them in one tab. So what I can do, if I want to move them, I'm just gonna just put it to the inventory, and then that way, all I got to do now, I just go to the corresponding tab, and then just go deposit, and then I just go over here and then just start depositing things that are based on the way I organize them. So in this case, it would be armor and weapons and stuff like that. Just basically filling my stash with the appropriate items based on the way that I want to organize it. Now, when it comes to the reason that you are putting stuff in the stash, it's simply because you want to put them in the stash so you can look at them later. Maybe you look at them and you see that they have a higher item power, or they have a good aspect that you think that you want to use later. So you're going to put them in the stash, and then you're going to come back to it and organize them the way that you want to. And then that way you can use them later. So whether it's the aspect or the item power, or because I got some good fixes on there. But so whatever the reason is, normally you TP to town, and then you just have time to actually either sell some things to the vendors, or you just gonna just salvage them through the blacksmith. Now that is the main reason why we want a loot filter in this game. That way we don't spend a lot of time coming back and forth to town and then wasting a lot of time when we can be playing the game. Now, all of that said, because we don't have a filtering system in this game, you can do it by yourself. All you got to do, just know exactly where you are in the game. Like for instance, if you get to world tier 4, which is the torment level, it's time that you start getting rid of anything that is not ancestral. Like for instance, when I get to world tier 4, say I got this wand right here. Now, if I compare it to the one that I'm currently using for world tier 3, now you can see the big difference in damage. As you can see right now, it's preferable to use this ancestral one over the one that is just as sacred. So it's time for you to start filtering things yourself. Just delete anything that is not ancestral as long as you have a replacement for it. Now, I am not saying to just go willy-nilly on everything, but if you have something that is better than what you are using, so it's time to actually start discarding them for the better ones. This means when you get to world tier 4, it's time that you get rich. Just sell everything, salvage everything, then you get all the materials and all the gold that you can have, and then just go on your merry way. Now guys, that's all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully one day we have a loot filter in this game. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. I will see you guys in the next one.